want to set up a business, if they benefit from a little training on how to run a business, that will aid in making that business a success story. So we had a session at Tipperary Hall where Minister McCoy and Minister Oni Waldron, right, they were that session. So perhaps we can have a similar session here, because we don't want you to set up a business, the money coming in, but you don't know how the money going out. You know, so a little tips about how to run a business is important before you venture into that business. I don't know if Minister McCoy want to say anything now, based on his experience with Tipperary Hall, or maybe later. Said later. But certainly we will have such a session with all the people interested in establishing business as we go along. Okay?
I want to address the issue raised by James Bond, but before I get there, you know, I listened to my colleague Colin Kroll, and it suddenly came to me so vividly, because only this morning I was scrolling on Facebook, and I'm hearing certain politicians are saying that we are allocating resources in a biased way in Guyana. And here Colin just disclosed unwittingly that one of the first water treatment plants that is going to be built in this new policy is going to be built at Bachelor's Adventure. Right here, the first one, the tender is out. So right here, you have the evidence of falsity that is being peddled with the intent to create unnecessary division and discord in our country. And 8 million US. 8 million US, 1.6 billion dollars. So, the question of title. Now, as you know, I have been going around the country with the support sometimes of housing as well as lands and surveys to bring regularity to what I think housing describes as water settlements. Villages and communities that exist for decades in our country where there is no titular ownership. There is no ownership of the land that people have constructed their houses on and are living for decades, generations. So I have been going around and filling these gaps. We are doing several villages on the quarantine, West Coast Berbice, Essequibo, and in Region 3. The persons at Buxton and Golden Grove and the Prime Minister and I met with a group there. They also raised the same issues of untitled lands. Now you are raising it here. So I plan that after we have one session more of Parliament, which is on the 8th. After that Parliament goes into recess, and I plan to use that recess period to meet in the communities on the East Coast at least to begin the process of the land regularization. I hope that someone will be able to coordinate the meeting, because we'll have to come into the community, sit with you with the surveyors, do the history, because you know this village was started by Prime Minister or President Fox Burnham, and he may have co-authored that co-op, and possibly by political strategy did not grant title, because that was a political strategy at one point in time in Guyana, to keep dependency, so you don't give the people every title, you hold it. Well, I am dealing with what James is talking about. He has raised it. So, wherever you will need the titles to be done, and whatever is the reason for the titles not being issued, that is what we will have to address. Alright? So that is what I want to say on the title issue. We'll begin that process in mid-August. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Ministers. So at this point again, I just want to inform the audience that it's question and answers. So because of a little bit difficulty with the PA system, we're going to ask everyone to politely raise their hand if they have any questions or concern. We're going to have you to ask you also to be very concise with your questions. At the same time, once you raise your hand, I'm going to ensure that you come to the front and you could forward your questions to the panel. At this point,
good afternoon, all. Members of the head table, good afternoon. I have one basic issue. The compound. I am Mrs. Paddy, and I'm a former teacher. I have an issue with the cinema compound. It's a big disgrace to the village of Melanie. I came here. I wasn't born here. I just came. I was fortunate to get the land here, and I started living here. And since I came, I've been looking at that whole area. Probably because I'm a teacher or was a teacher. This always a teacher. I think they need. I don't know if the government can do something about it. I was made to understand it belongs to the co-op, but they're not doing anything about it. And the residents of Melanie, they're not benefiting from that whole big set of land out there. I would like to know if it's possible, it's my idea, that the government can take that whole area, put a library, so the people or the children of this community can benefit from a library, have a resource center, probably put down courts like basketball court, lawn tennis court, the hard surface for the small goal football. I'm not a sports person, but that's what I'm looking at. It's a large piece of land, and I'd be happy if something can be done about it. Move out all of that scrap stuff there. Probably throw it over the seawall and keep out the bill, right? That's my issue. So please, Mr. Ministers, I would like to see a change when it comes to Melanie Cinema. And I'd be happy also. One other thing, I think this specifically to the person who looks after the roads, right? Make sure Cinema Road in particular is kept in a good condition. The reason is we have the elderly people going into NIS, they're going down to the health center and so on, right? And the drainage. A piece of time the people used to come around and clean the back drain, but they ain't coming anymore. But I'm looking forward to see changes where the cinema is concerned. That's my issue. Thank you.
Hello.
next question.
Hello.
Thank you for the points that you raised there, ma'am. We're going to take some more questions and concern, and then we will respond. Okay?
Good afternoon, everyone, especially the ministers at the table and other important guests who come to the meeting. I have one thing to say. I'm from Bachelor's Adventure, and that's a very historical village. That village, we have our ancestors' land. That land was given to us by the Queen. We have documents to show that that land was given to us by the Queen. But at the neighboring village, all y'all speak about all the villages and escape on the coast, but Bachelor's Adventure wasn't mentioned. Bachelor's Adventure is a very historical village. And this road here that we call Larry Lewis Road, that is where the 18-something battle was fought, where 400 and something slaves died. We have some lands at the back there. But you know, you look at Beirut and the land is overcrowded. We need to go expand over there to get land for the youth. We are the only village on the East Coast who do not have farmland. Years ago, myself and the group went and we saw when Gaisuku was functioning and the lands were abandoned at the back there. We used to go and meet and argue the managers and talk about the land. They promised to give us the land, but they say we have to plant cane to supply the state. We were in not a position to look after cane because to do those things you have to have money. And after then, everything flat. But we need the land out of them. They're our ancestors' land. Those people work hard, they fight for those lands, and then blood break for those lands. We need those lands. 205. 205. I paid for my land at Outing. That time Mr. Sheikh Bash was there. He's a very nice man. Yes, Sheikh Bash. Yes, a nice man. Yes. He promised that we will get the transport. 205 to now, I haven't got my land title. They said, when they came in, they give us those lands at occupational survey. What you occupied, you will get. I occupied a piece of land. Lately, I see them coming and they do some remeasurement survey. And they're telling me I get 2 houses. And it was occupational survey that was on the document. Totally occupied we get. We need that people in that village there is like a slum. The road we got to get paddle just now to come out. We only pray promises we getting in there, you know. Nothing doing. They start to clean the drain about 2 weeks, a month ago, and they clean about 50 rods, and I see the thing out. Nobody coming back. I one yard must go in or send somebody. They promise they're making the road every week. They're making the road to do the road, and the road ain't doing. You see, these things just make the people of this country get fed up and distrust people because they're going around fooling the people. If you can't do the thing, don't do it. That's right. You're not that doesn't do it. I get so fed up. You see in front of me, I'm 74 years of age. And when I come, I got to buy a boat. You see the old somewhere. Since this government going, I don't know what caused it, the men that used to clean the trenches, they're walking no more. We're so fed up in that community. We need our land, we need our ancestors' land, we need land title. My husband dead and they get the transport, and let me go dead and they get the transport. Still, 2 or 5 we pay for that land. Now they're going to tell me they get 2 houses land, and people get bigger lands everywhere. You understand me? So from the Prime Minister and the Minister of the I want you to do something. Do something for black villages now. You know the thing about me? The first will be Emancipation Day. Years ago, the government used to give out money to the African village that they must be able to access. But we not get none there, like we not going to be there for a long time. Because we not have this money ago. At least the organization. But now we got Beirut. We want to keep something tomorrow. Or we can't just keep nothing for enjoy ourselves. We want drummers and things that we can't come and enjoy ourselves that tomorrow or Monday when it is. What's happening? We ain't getting no benefits in the community. We want something that I am 74 and I want to dance tomorrow, and I want you all must give something for we cook and drink and eat out there. There's an historical village. Blood was shed for that village, you know. And I'm asking you all must pay Eid to black communities. We play Eid. We are one Guyana. You can't get 10 picnic and feed one. You can't feed all your children them. Because you can cause confusion. Because if you not get, if you not get no contact from you, and that will cause confusion with brothers and sisters in this country. So are you doing the right thing? Look after everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your comments. Ma'am, thank you very much for your comments. One Guyana. We're looking after everybody, every Guyanese. Okay? So we are quite on track with all the concerns you raised there. Okay? And you will be able to sit down, you will be able to dance and have fun on Emancipation Day, right? On Monday. You can start tomorrow, Sunday, and on Monday. Because what we have done, we have given money or monies to all the African organizations that approached us requesting funds for the emancipation activities. I have seen the list, and all the organizations were allocated funds. Okay? Maybe what you need to do with Beirut, just form an organization so by next year you will be on the list receiving money too. When I said we already give out the money. Huh? Right? All right. Beirut, I'm told Beirut got 50,000, organization in Beirut got $50,000 from the NDC. So they got money. There's some money from the NDC there, the chairman from the NDC here. The chairman is here and he's substantiating that, well, they got money, right? So you'll be able to dance and you'll be able to sing and get something to eat on Monday in Beirut, okay? All right, you get your food and drink for Monday. Yes, you mentioned a number of issues. The issue with the land titling and that will be worked on. That's been dealt with. But Minister Cole will like to have the microphone again.
Thank you, PM. With respect to bachelors and venture Beirut, there are 16 lots that we are working on to regularize. In fact, and that is why they could have identified the issue with you. And in any regularization, we'll always have challenges. In any regularization, we'll always have somebody who is satisfied and somebody who is dissatisfied, because it takes into consideration the occupation survey that is done. But just to update you, we have finished the occupation survey, and we have already filed the plan with, or we're filing the plan with Guyana Lands and Survey Commission. So by the second week of August, I'm expecting to get that approved plan, and then we will move to the next phase of processing the titles. And so I can assure you that, well, not for your emancipation, but for your Christmas, you will have your title.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Just before you go, Auntie, just before you go, the reason why the people measuring the road is so that they'll be able to get the estimate to fix the road. So the engineers have already gone into Beirut. They have measured the road and they have fixed the dimensions, the width of the road, the length of the road, the kind of road that needs to be built. And that will give us what is called a bill of quantities. So we could go out to tender, so they could get a contractor engaged. So the fact you see them with a vest and the helmet and they're only measuring and measuring and measuring and measuring and measuring is because they're doing the work properly so that you could get a proper road. And Auntie, as it relates to Beirut, my good friend, Dr. Jennifer Westford, used to always fix up the party in Beirut. So, Beirut, and you see, I know the story because I used to have to get involved in all 10 of the picnic eat, because sometimes the money only used to do for 2 picnic. So, I want to assure you that Beirut, traditionally, off the record and on the record, have been supported by the People's Progressive Party Civic. And since Dr. Westford didn't come to me this time for Beirut, and Priya Manichan didn't come to me for this time for Beirut, if you tell me who will help to make the other picnic them eat Sunday, I will give my contribution to make sure. You start putting the tent, you got fixed out for the thing and so on. So don't go away yet.
No, I'm not away.
Remember, use me, girlfriend, you know. All right, good. Thank you.
Granny, I like you.
My name is Robert Justin Williams, Honorable President Acting, esteemed members of the head table. I welcome you. This is an historic event. I just want to reiterate that, all right? I am a Melanian, and I really want that particular word. I have a way of creating words to really form and solidify itself today. Peter Drucker said, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So I need to measure something today. All who are Melonians, could you just show by your uplifted hand? Look, pay a careful attention, leadership. Pay careful attention, leadership. Pay keen attention to the hands that went up. Put them up back again. Look, it is less than 3% of this crowd. And I really want to go back and applaud this senior lady here, because you know what? The conversation that is supposed to focus on Melanie shifted to Beirut, rightfully so, because she's here representing. Give her a round of applause. She is here representing. But let me tell you some of the core issues why Melanians are not here today. There was a squeaky car at some inordinate hour driving through announcing this meeting at a very squeaky hour. One, the communication to the grassroots people did not get there. Where were the flyers? Who are the organizers of this meeting? If I weren't on Facebook, I would not have known of this meeting. But yet we're discussing issues of Melanie. Yet, 2 weeks ago, I walked along with a journalist from Buxton. We did a live through the NIS street coming down because, God forbid that prior to this meeting, Honorable President Acting, if somebody had organized it well enough and we had walked Melanie, there would have been we would have been discussing other matters of greater importance right now. Because everything that needs fixing in this village is visible to the eye. Melanie, based on its historic background, we know where it's coming from. We know that I want her to open up that placard back, because he who fails to remember history is doomed to commit the same mistakes again. And we can't allow that to happen, because at the end of the day, whosoever runs this country runs it for the entirety of this country. And we've heard statements that the government come in, we selling out. What kind of nonsense is that? All I need right now from this government is a proper road, nothing else. And I'm going to tell you what else I need. There's proper roads in Melanie. Buxton had the chance. Buxton's get plenty chance. Plenty chance. Don't just come to stop at Buxton. And I love my Buxtonians to heart. I love them. We are one. But soon they come screams to stop at Buxton. So this effort I really want to applaud the government for. I really want, because they're coming into a perceived, and that's why we get licks for. Sometimes there's this perception, or sometimes the government doing the work. Now I know who's the chairman for the Buxton, and now I know this is my chairman. Now I know. Ask how much many people that they know whether this man is my chairman. Ask them. We don't know. We don't know. So how come we get the representation from somebody that we don't know? So it has to be, and we got to play with self-Melanians, because you know why? And some people come back to me and don't talk back to me after today, but that's fine. We are so disorganized. We are so disorganized that our leaders are boisterous amongst us, but when this caliber people come here, nobody is saying anything. All we doing is lip service and reading a whole set of things. We gotta tell these people exactly what we want and what we need. This has nothing to do with PPP or PNC. Everyone here got bad road in front of y'all. Now, the Honorable Robson Ben came in, Mr. Kwame. You and I met some time back. I'm in a developmental organization. I'm happy to see you again. Right? He came and he said we are stuck because there is a co-op in Melanie that got us by the stranglehold. And let me tell you something, the co-op has been excellent over the years. They've done a lot of work, but comrade ministers, we need new, vibrant leadership in this community. New, vibrant leadership in this community. We need accountability in this community. So I don't expect the government to be doing anything for us unless we can be accountable for it. Why must they give us things when turn come you can't even come forward to spend? It's a counter and a debit and an end. It's a debit and a credit. You gotta balance it to the end. There's no accountability, man. Right? Too long we've been languishing with that plaza out there. And every time you come, you hear it, oh, it's ancestral lands and we're giving it away. And if the government could fix that and give each one of us a slot. Nothing is wrong with that. It has been languishing there for years. And Melanie is now the eyesore of the East Coast. I used to get girlfriends back in the day when I said I used to live in Melanie. Unless the other person coming to talk about issues of Melanie, because what we find is that the conversation being derailed. Look, most of the playgrounds got nice sensible people go inside and change the clothes. Look what Melanie got. Two things, right? Look at the ground. Folks don't have floodlight. Give me floodlight too. We want floodlight too. We be careful forever for the barcode. We got, Minister, we got to do the walk around. And in that 30 minutes walk through that I did, I called your name over 50 times. Please, Mr. Minister, organize with us. Let us walk through the community. This is a golden opportunity for every one of us. And I don't know where you going in the polling booth and you don't know where you're going to put in the end of the day. These are the people that got to get the work done for us. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm speaking passionately because let me bring it closer to home. Education is what would have caused most of us to rise to where we are today. But here when I protest for the first time in my life, when that was placed on education, that's the first time I hold up a placard. That's the first time I hold up a placard because it was depriving my children and generation to come from a free education. I hold a placard up for the first time. At the end of the day, these are the people that we place there, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not, these are the people that we got to come now from Melanie. Melanie, I don't want, God forbid, I don't worry about Beirut and nobody else come about the talk with you village, rather go to you village. This is Melanie meeting. This is Melanie meeting. We got issues of land title. We got issues of lack of businesses. All the streets is bush. We got issues of community security. You park your car, the garbage, your mirror. It's about time that we, whoever is the Minister of Labor, we need to come in. This is the roadmap. Because after that 2-minute walk through that I did with the journalists from Buxton, our next thing was to seek the organization of the community to do a peaceful walk and protest the Buxton NDC. That's what we were going to do next for those who don't know. We own NDC because is it that the government giving money for the NDC, but if they come into Melanie, we don't know. We don't know. Who is the representative from Melanie on the NDC? We are seeing that person is walking, that person is talking, that person is oblivious to what we're going through. They're oblivious to the plight of Melanians. And God forbid if I could change Melanie name and give it another name, maybe that will help us. But these people are not concerned about the name. They're here for the issues. So let me stop this nonsense about who coming and who coming. This is time where the aisle money there, and we got to get something from the aisle money. On a more grander economic scale, my salary is taxed PAYE 33.3%. And a lot of us, Comrade Minister, at some point in time, if that could come down to 20% and put the 13 point something percent back in, it will help. It will. At some time we got to look at that, because that in itself is an economic generating activity. At some point in time, it is not just about the one-top handout, but what is more permanent to my bottom end of my pocket and your pocket. Remove a 13% or a 5% next year budget, and I would personally come and hold up a placard in front of the government and say, thank you, Minister. Because that's 10% more I'm getting in my pocket every month. Alright? But back to Melanie. We got that community center there. It was started sometime back. All the computers broke up, nothing is working. That is an avenue that we can retool so that the people in Melanie can benefit. Let me tell you something from a personal perspective what happened during COVID. The community that I live in, I received a letter from my neighboring community enterprise appealing to my organization for assistance during COVID. Listen, Melanians, God, this is nonsense. When we did investigation into the grassroots organization of enterprise, and we checked the people minutes intact, we checked the people balance sheet intact, we checked how they distribute the stuff intact, we had no choice but to contribute to the people's request for help. I wrote to my community, to my big chosen people, and tell them, hey, what happened? This is where enterprise do. You had jump on the bandwagon. Up to now, I'm still waiting. That is why we need people. This is not about the issues, ministers. We know the issues. Y'all know the issues. Even before y'all come, y'all got people who actually know. So anything we come and say, y'all don't know. The Black Sheep program, they got people in here wearing sheep, Minister Zolka, but we want some black sheep. Black belly sheep, right? We want people get some black belly sheep. Parade in Melanie, we're going to organize, we're going to find out who are those people. Secondly, the person who running the gold project, there are a lot of youngsters here just come out. If we organize and we provide you with a list, we want these people to get scholarship. That's what we want, real tangible things. And that tangibility is not coming from our leaders. It's not coming. Thirdly, I had one of the best kitchen gardens because I graduated from GSA in this area. Enough shade house and thing, and never a shade house come to me yet. They are grant for shade houses. We want some shade houses. We want some quality art. We want support for them kind of initiatives. Those kind, you don't give me no more fish. Give me the hook that we fish. So let me wrap up. The immediate things, Comrade Ministers, is that the roads. Right? It's not an easy road, but just say right now it's not an easy road. Melanie now has a lot of economic activity on the road getting from bad to worse. Alright? So that's number one, roads. Number two, without organization, we can't come to y'all. Without the proper representation, Mr. Kwame, we can't come. Guy gonna ask me, who managing this money? How it's spending? Who accounting for it? Right? I got 2 papers to finish accountancy, and we try something, and they just, it is time. It is about time, Melanians. Back to you. Because when we come out and we say, support the drive and the movement for change, you can't sit on the fence at your own detriment. So I placed on Facebook this particular visit. I've coined it. I've given it my own name. Guess what name I give it? Put them to the test. Emancipate Melanie. So let me change the name. It is put them to the test. Emancipate Melanie. So every elcomer, if you have any other general issues, this is the time to speak. Don't let me tell people wait. This is we meeting. Whosoever is a Melanie, people take how long you want. Let it know, because only you who feels it knows it. Every morning I come out, my vehicle have to go down in Demerara River 2 and come out. And then I go in Demerara River 3 and come out. And I separate from wear and tear and still got to pay 33% tax and I got to fix my vehicle. Every 2 days I fix it. The taxi them stopping at a certain point, the old people can't get help. Please, this ground here burns a lot of unused energy for black youth. When they ain't get to burn the energy, they're going to likely burn it elsewhere. We want proper thing, we want proper facilities, but be paved, maintained just like all the other communities. The roads, Mr. Minister, the thickness of the roads that building in one village should be the same thickness that building in your village. Not no basic crusher run, and not a crusher running in God. It's some big roads to build in. It's supposed to be the same engineer that measuring, got the same thickness for the same roads. And the road is supposed to be a 3/4 way and then stop. I don't think they can couple them, Comrade Minister, couple them, say, ask yourself, where did the engineer study? How come the road stopping there? So roads is essential for us. And Comrade Minister, we need new leadership for Melanie. We need to move this community forward. And as if what you're saying is your mantra, that Guyana is for everybody, then I believe that is a golden opportunity for everybody to work together to move Melanie forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. What's his name? Mr. Williams. Thank you very much. Just quite in Guyanese parlance, it's quite a mouthful you give us there. And we will start the ball rolling with our ministers, responding to the many issues that you raised there. Starting with Minister Nigel, and Minister Zulfi, and Minister.
All right, thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. Habari Mchana. James, what's going on? You don't know what I said? Habari Mchana. So in Swahili, that is how are you? And you have to respond. And Zuri. So, people of Melanie, where is their history? It's important, a lot of these issues that our Honorable Prime Minister listened to and brought us here today. The last time I came to Melanie in a proper way, Prime Minister, was when I used to go to college. I'm to James Bond, by the way. And this minister here is also from the President's Club. But I remember playing table tennis in one of the buildings in Melanie around 88, 89. Since then, Melanie always had talent. And when I listen to these people today, I am shocked that Melanie has not grown with the amount of talent and smart people that you have. So, what I would like to suggest today, Prime Minister, as part of the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, we have established I'm the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development. And my job includes making sure that community issues are dealt with. And because leadership is so sacrosanct to Melanie, I would like to suggest that the team from the Ministry of Local Government come and work with the people of Melanie to establish a community development group, as we've done in many other areas, and that group can launch many of the issues that you would like addressed. So next week, on Wednesday, Prime Minister, we have already decided, without your permission, but hopefully your blessings, that a team of us will get back here on Wednesday afternoon and do the walkabout and try to resolve as many issues as we could on the ground. Okay? So we are going to bring the regional people. We'll bring some of the engineers. We will also bring, because I'm responsible for solid waste management too, meaning the collection and disposal of garbage and the cleanup of your community. And if you're interested on Wednesday and we can get this group going, we can put some people in place, put some resources, and get Melanie cleaned up by the end of next weekend. I'm saying this because a few months ago I went to Paradise but I have not yet received from Paradise the names of the people who we can employ to start the cleanup in Paradise, and this is months ago. So Williams, this seems to be a problem. People here, we come, we try to work with you, you make promises to us that you're going to work, and then you don't turn up. So we want commitment. We are committed. His Excellency the President has made a commitment that we will work in every village. Our Prime Minister is here leading this delegation, and you are seeing transformation. Before Bishop Edgell comes, one of the things the President has indicated to us is that every road that we will build with two surfaces, either asphaltic concrete or rigid surface concrete. And one of the things that he has been instilling, a lot of the projects got to be done by people within the community. So small projects that could be done in Melanie, we would like the residents of Melanie to be fixing the things in Melanie. So if we got to rehabilitate the school, we would like to see contractors from Melanie do so. If we got to fix the fence, we would like to see contractors from Melanie fixing the fence of the health center. If we got to weed this community playground area, as we're doing in BV right now, I can tell you something about BV just now. Please let us start clean up this playground. And cleaning up the playground means that you got to use it too. Don't leave it and then make the excuse that it was COVID for 2 years and then it is raining. So if you have a community, if you have youth clubs, we'd be willing to support those youth clubs as well. All right? So, and do we have you're the chairman of this community center, right? The management committee. So let's work on it and get it sorted. Or the RU is here as well. A few weeks ago, we went to BV before the Prime Minister leads his team there. And I see in the newspapers, Prime Minister, on Stabrook News, that, you know, this whole issue of ancestral lands. So when I went, I found out that the NDC had an arrangement with some private company to sell lands in BV. But I noticed nowhere in the papers saying that it was the government under Irfan Ali who went into BV and exposed that to the residents of BV. You know what is happening now? Those people, the NDC had to fall out of that arrangement so that the real owners of BV can benefit from the land. Yesterday, we started the clearing. We started some land clearing. And our Prime Minister intends to visit here with another team very soon as well. We also provide, there is a youth group called the Majorettes. Many of you know what the Majorettes are, right? So last week, the Ministry of Local Government, we granted them $200,000 to help with their emancipation activities. We did the same in Den Amstel. So the government has a lot of resources, but you got to come forward. Because when we come into the communities, some of you claim, as William said, you don't get, the information doesn't filter down. So Patricia Telford is your councillor. She's the constituency councillor of Melanie. Where is Patricia Telford? And why does Patricia Telford doesn't come and visit the people of Melanie? That is your community leader. All right? So I'm just telling you who that person is. All right? I don't know who the person is either. I just know the name as a councillor on the NDC. So Prime Minister, I'm committing that we are going to get these issues resolved. And on Wednesday, we can bring the team and form the group and start visiting the areas and do a lot of the fixing that needs to be done. Thank you.
So you have a date with the Minister on Wednesday afternoon, okay? Now let's listen to Minister Zulfikar, Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, PM colleague. And comrades, let me also join with my colleague in wishing you emancipation, a happy Emancipation Day. So today is a very important day for you in Melanie. And I know for a fact that you have ministers here that are responsible for various sectors. I was a bit surprised when I didn't hear the agriculture issue coming about. But Mr. William would have raised some of it. But I want to tell you what we are doing as a government in the agriculture sector and how you can get yourself involved. Today, Guyana is driving the food agenda in the Caribbean. And we as a people, we have a lot of opportunities. And we from the Ministry of Agriculture have been working in various communities across this country. I've worked in your next door area here, Buxton. And what we have been doing, we have been working with farmers and farmers group to work with them to ensure that we develop their areas. First of all, DNI system. We recognize that over the years, our DNI system was in a very terrible state. And when I became Minister of Agriculture, I started a process where the government have allocated, make budgetary allocation increase over the last 3 budgets from when we started out $11 billion to $28 billion today. That shows our commitment to the agriculture sector, where we want to ensure that we develop this sector because we recognize the importance of the agriculture sector. Because without agriculture, without a proper agriculture sector, we cannot be food secure. And we have seen what have taken place over the last 2.5 years. Many countries that had money were unable to buy food or to get food. And we are very fortunate in Guyana that we are producing almost 60% of the food that we are consuming. But as a government, we are not satisfied with that. We want to increase that. We want to be food secure. And we want to ensure that Guyana be the powerhouse in agriculture in the Caribbean. And how we can do that? We have to do that with your support. I want to tell you today, like the other communities, we have all the officers here from the Ministry of Agriculture, senior officers, from GLDA, NARI, NDIA, Pesticide and Toxic Control Board, and you name it. A number of agencies fall within the Ministry of Agriculture. What we'll do, we'll come back, like what my colleague said, we will come back and work with you. First of all, we have to have the land. Just clarifying with AG just now, when we heard about people own land at the back here and things like that, we are willing to work with you. We are willing to develop your area. We are willing to give you proper drainage and irrigation because for a fact, over the last 2 years, almost 2 years, what we have done in this country, we have tried our utmost to look at the vulnerable area that are prone to flooding. And whilst we are looking at the sluices and the canals around the area to rehabilitate and restructure them, we are also purchasing pumps. So we will not have 8 and 6 hours drainage only. We want to ensure, because up to now, this is the 7-month year, supposed to be the driest month. Up to now, we are having heavy rainfall. And that shows that the climate change is real in this part of the world. And we are prepared for it, or we have to be prepared for it as a government. So I will be coming back with this team to work, and I will challenge here Mr. Williams, who spoke for a long time just now, that he must organize back with the farmers, and I will come myself with my team and help you all to develop your agriculture sector once again in this area. So I am saying within 1 week from now, our officers who are around, they can raise their hands. They are around the area here, and they will come back with me and we will work with you like what we are doing. Because you know for a fact our president is very passionate about the agriculture sector. Because today when you look around the world, we are seeing the crisis in the food sector. And as a country, we have to be prepared. And we don't have to be prepared only for ourselves. We have to be prepared and lead the Caribbean. And that is why today the entire Caribbean is looking forward and looking towards Guyana for that leadership. And if we have to work towards the objective of reducing the food input bill by 25% in 2025, then Guyana has to play that leading role. What we have, no other Caribbean country doesn't have. We have a lot of fresh water, or abundant fresh water, and arable land. And our job is we now have to harness that to produce the food. And I want to assure you that our philosophy as a government, we will work with every strata, every section of society, and we will develop our agriculture sector so that we can be food secure. So we will be coming back here shortly and work with you to ensure that we do a massive DNI work in the area. And when we finish those work, we will give the maintenance contract to the community so that they can maintain those drainage trenches, so that you will have that. The other issue about the kitchen garden, that is simple. I already instruct my staff today at the end of today's meeting to work with different package of seed, so that at the end of today, we will give those seeds to you all so you can start your kitchen garden immediately when we leave here. We have 100 seed that will be distributed just now when we complete here. So comrades, I'm asking you, let us work together. Let us ensure we cooperate with one another. Let us form that partnership so that we can develop our country. Thank you.
Good afternoon. A young man raised a very important issue about the Gold Scholarship and having a lot of young people who want to be able to benefit from tertiary education and or a technical skill so that you would be able to develop yourselves, your community, and our country. I just want you to know that I've made contact with the director of the Gold Online Scholarship. It's 20,000 online scholarship within a 5-year period, and the rate we're going at, we're going to surpass that by 2025. But I am committed, and we have and always will publish the lists of awardees on the internet so that you're aware how it is granted and aware who is granted in terms of region, in terms of community, in terms of the persons who are granted. But I want to tell you, young man, that I have made contact with the director of Gold, and he is committed to lead his team here during this week at a venue that is convenient for young people and other persons to be able to sign up for the Gold Scholarship. So that is going to, I will make contact and we will finalize all of the details today to have that done.
So let's talk roads. The first thing I want to put your heart at ease with, we will do every road in every community in Guyana, including Melanie. Now, listen to this. It makes a lot of sense for me as the minister to fix all the roads, because you will be satisfied. It makes sense for the PPPC administration to fix roads that was never fixed before, because people who were not satisfied would be satisfied now. So every time you talk about a road and getting your road fixed, you will find from the Ministry of Public Works a responsive group of people, because our intention is to fix every road. But I want you to hear the approach that we are using so you can appreciate what is happening. So, on the East Coast, I want you to hear me clearly. Out of the $13.8 billion that was budgeted for miscellaneous roads in 2022, on the East Coast alone, we talking Region 4, just the East Coast, $2.8 billion is being expended. Out of 13.8 for the whole country, the East Coast alone is absorbing 2.8 billion. 2.5 billion of those roads have already been awarded, and we have about 361 million worth of roads that are at procurement stage. And that's on the whole East Coast. Now, we're going to come to Melanie specific about the actions that will be taken. But you would have seen infrastructural development on the East Coast corridor in a way not just merely to provide comfort for villages, because that is necessary,
but also to open up economic opportunities. You would have heard me said in Parliament during the debate that you can't eat roads, but roads make you eat. So right now, there's a major project that is in the procurement stage from Sheriff Street roundabout all the way out to Mahaika on the railway embankment. We are bringing that to a 4-lane road. I repeat that. From the Sheriff Street roundabout all the way to Mahaika. That's a 4-lane road. We are developing where we finish here on the front. From Belfield to Orange Nassau, we are continuing an upgrade of a 2-lane road. So we are expanding and enriching the road network on the East Coast corridor. It means that with the industrialization that will take place at Enmore, where people from Melanie and Buxton and Golden Grove and Victoria will be able to get jobs in the oil and gas sector. To support that, you have to have the large, wide thoroughfares to move the containerized traffic to enable industrialization to come to your area. When we were finished this main road out here, we had about $450 million remaining from the contract. The government in 2021, 22, added another 500 and something million, which made us just over $1 billion. And we did what was called connector roads. Because when you build the main roads, and the man comes speeding down when he will turn any village, he wants to be able to get to his gate on a nice, good road. So the approach that we've been taking to village roads, because while the man say all the roads need to be fixed, there's an approach that we've been taking to village roads. Main roads, roads that lead to schools, places of worship, and health facilities are getting #1 priority. Main roads, roads that lead to schools, health centers, and places of worship where the masses of the people traverse, they're getting the first treatment. Then secondly, we are moving on to do roads that have never been done. Because we know in some of these villages, the back street have never been done, while the front street have been done 3 or 4 times already. And by the way, sir, the Ministry of Public Works don't do pressure run. When we build roads, we just build proper roads. Like the minister said, either asphalted concrete roads or rigid pavement roads. So in Melanie, we have already picked up, or what the lady that was sitting there said, done the measurements of what needs to be done. Some of the roads are going to be done in the 2022 budget, which we will be coming out with a new wave of procurement for new roads, and others will be factored into the 2023 budget. But as a direct response to the request that is made here, Because the agreement of roads that are being done in the various villages are largely done in consultation with the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development and the NDCs. So when we got into government in 2020, we consulted with all 71 local authorities throughout the country. And we said to them, give us your priority, where we have the problem. And based upon those submissions, the Ministry of Public Works, along with the Ministry of Regional Development, we visited, we engaged, we picked up the description, the conditional surveys, and we've been seeking to execute. My commitment is, as money becomes available for roads, more roads in Melanie will be done. We're going to be looking to see what could be accommodated between now and the end of the year, but certainly in 2023, you will see lots more being done in Melanie as it relates to roads. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. And of course, I'm happy to be part of this team visiting your community. And I want to start by saying that the guarantee that you have from this government and you have today is that your government will work for you, for your interests, for your community, for all of Guyana, because that is why you elected us. And it is true that what we discussed here today and some of the things that we've committed to so far are what we're supposed to be doing as a government. As I heard my friend on that side commenting just now. But I want to say that there are, when people are employed, when you have a contract and an agreement to do a particular job, that there's some people who are fired for not doing what they have to do. And we are happy that we can listen to people and we can do what we are expected to do as a government, because the job of governing for people is about doing for people. And so this is an important exercise, not because we want to be on television or radio or in the newspaper and social media. It is important for us because it fits in to our governance architecture in terms of participatory democracy, in terms of being able to consult with people, in terms of making sure that you have a say in what happens within your community and what happens within your country. And therefore, every single community across this country, as was said and is known, you can be assured here in Melanie and Beirut or wherever the communities exist, that we are going to be working and working very hard for you. Now, in terms of the meeting and how it was arranged, in terms of people having notice of the meeting in advance and well in advance, we worked with community groups and the NDC and CDCs wherever they exist in communities to help us to arrange these meetings. And in this case, we did work with those groups, and we also used the radio and television to advertise the meetings. And so, nevertheless, this is not the end of any such engagement. There will be many more opportunities for you to come out and to be able to be part of meetings, as my colleague, Minister Darmlal said, and the others have also committed already, Minister Mustafa and others, that we will be doing follow-up meetings. And that's all part of working towards the specific commitments and objectives we identify here today. So there's a lot of good things to come out from this meeting, and henceforth. Also, the end of this session, if you have issues, personal matters with NIS and other issues that you'd like us to pay attention to, accessing perhaps some medical facility, etc. We have staff here who will be able to get your names and contact information so that we can do follow-ups. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you. You've heard from all our ministers. Ladies and gentlemen, I've made some notes. And based on my notes, the priorities for Melanie Damishana, I have 6 notes here. Damishana, is that so? Damishana, right? All right, Melanie, make it easier for me, Melanie. I have 6 priorities that I listed here when all of you were talking, and I made a note of the comment by Mr. Williams, and he said, put them to the test, emancipate Melanie. Amen. Is that so? We are being put to the test, and Melanie will be emancipated. As I mentioned before in my initial remarks, this is a rebirth of the village movement. This is democracy at work, right? We're here meeting the people, and you know what? If I should go through this list, road, Bishop Edgell already assured us that he will be dealing with the roads, and Melanie roads will be addressed. Improvement to the sports ground and sports facilities. Minister Charles Ramson will be with us this afternoon. However, he's overseas representing Guyana with the athletes at the Commonwealth Games. Officials from his ministry are here, and they've been making notes. And trust me, soon, proper notes, not proper notes, proper notes. Okay? Let me talk Guyanese, right? So the officials are here, and I recognize Colin, right? Myself and Colin grew up together in Linden, and he works for the ministry. And they will be coming in soon to address the issues pertaining to improvements in the ground and sports facilities. Agriculture, Minister did address the issues pertaining to agriculture. Education, you heard from Minister Sonia, right? Talking about the gold scholarships and other scholarships that are available. Because as I mentioned before, we could build all the roads, all the hotels, all the hospitals, but we have to educate the people. Okay? Land titling issues. We spent a long time on land titling issues. And the Honorable Attorney General, Minister Nandalal, will be addressing those issues along with Minister Colin Kroll, okay, to the satisfaction of all the people here. An important issue that you have to address. And I hinted just when I said all politics is local. Okay? Democracy at work, not only at the central government level, but it must work at the local government level. And if you have an NDC or a corrupt society that is not serving your needs, you are the ones who have to make the change or changes to satisfy your needs. Okay? We must respect our elders, but personally I'd like to see more young people involved in politics at the local government level. You know, we had a National Tushaw Council meeting in Georgetown where we brought the Tushaws from over 200 communities. And I was heartened to see some of the Tushaws were in their teens and early 20s. They were leading villages. Okay, so we respect our elders, but more and more we need to see the youths, the young people, coming forth and taking a leadership role at the local government level. Okay? So if you have a co-op society, don't come here and talk about the co-op society not doing the work, not being accountable, there's no development, no communication. You have to do something about it. Guyana is a democracy, and we believe in practicing democracy at the central and regional government level and at the local government level. So when the time comes, ensure that you vote for representatives, for leaders at the local government level who will represent your interests. Okay? Because as a government, as a central government, and even as a regional government, we alone cannot do all that needs to be done to improve your community or your local government community. You have to be part of it. So while we have leaders who are dynamic at the central and regional level, we must also have leaders who are ready to work hard at the local government. So when we connect, we can have that development, that improvement in the lives and livelihood of the people in your community. So this is an opportunity for us to listen to you and for us to work with you. Okay? This is just the beginning. This is just the rebirth, as I mentioned, of the village movement. Happy emancipation. If there are any other comments anybody like to make, we're right here at the head table. Happy emancipation.
Happy emancipation to all. Honorary Prime Minister and Brigadier, members of the head table. My name is David Joseph, the chairman of the Bagalcha Housing Co-op Society. What I'm going to do, dispel some of the myths that I have, are some are some preconceived ideas y'all have. The task of the Bagalcha Housing Co-op Society, I'm here since 1975. I am here since 1975 when this co-op was initiated. I came as a soldier to wire the soldier scheme. We had to pay entrance fee. If you all want to learn, you will listen. Yeah. To be a member of the co-op, you have to buy shares, capital. The shares capital is what built the shopping complex. Let me repeat. The shares capital is what built the shopping complex. So the shopping complex is a membership building. I can come to the most
Okay. Just give me a minute. We have a lot of background noise, and I remember Mr. James Bond saying if somebody's on the floor, you should listen to them. Okay? Do we want to listen to him? Why? Why you don't want to listen to him? Okay, I tell you what, you represent the co-op society, right?
The chairman.
You're the chairman. Let us give him 2 minutes. Okay, let us give him 2 minutes. 1 minute.
Okay, skip. Why don't you talk with you?
Okay, I tell you what, I will have a conversation with him at the end, okay? Right, so I will have a conversation on the issues, and I will make, just listen to me now, just listen to me. I will have a conversation and I will make a note of the issues raised by him, okay? Let's get back to Let's take about three more questions or comments, and then we have to close. Okay?
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Muhammad Ali. I am a...
Let us listen to Mr. Ali.
Muhammad Ali. I wanted to say that I've learned a lot of ministers relating to let's seek a venue, we will come. Seek a venue, we will come. I'm saying to you that in Melanie we don't have that venue. So I'm requesting what is the possibility of a community center, a building where we can have those sort of meetings, where we can have those sort of workshops, all right? Apart from that, the constructions of roads is important, but also I think the construction of sidewalks is also important, especially the entrance to our health centers, the entrance to the NIS building, all right? Sidewalks for those areas are important. The entrance to our nursery school. I want to make a bit of representation quickly on behalf of Golden Grove for their primary school and a sidewalk to take them to their primary school and to President's College. All right?
Okay. So, thank you very much. All right. I think we have a lot of people coming around here now. So we'll have to transition, okay, to the one-on-one approach. Okay? Okay. Let me thank everybody for coming to today's meeting. This was a successful meeting. Give yourself a round of applause. Okay, and I wish to assure you that the issues that were captured from today's meeting will be addressed by us at central government working with your community. We now will transition to people who have personal issues and will want to approach the table. Thank you very much.